Hey folks, tonight I am at the Langham Hotel in Hong Kong and we're going to Tang Court, which is a 3 Michelin Star Cantonese Chinese restaurant. Before that, let's go grab a cocktail. Well, change of plans. We had a booking at the cocktail bar, but to order a cocktail, you have to order food from the lobby. So we didn't really want to have a club sandwich. So instead, we'll go to the lounge that our room gives us access to and just have a little cheeky glass of champagne and then head to dinner. Okay. Thanks for joining me as I travel the world, going from fine dining through to street food and local specialties, all in an effort to find the world's best seafood. So it goes without saying, this room is incredibly fancy. Sometimes I wonder how much of a Michelin Stars restaurant is based on the ambience, the decor, the amount they've spent on tableware compared to the quality of the food. Taking a look at the menu, yes, those numbers are daunting, but divide it by about 7.5 or 8 to get the US dollar equivalent. You can see they have a few different set menus, but then they have a huge, overwhelming and exhaustive a la carte menu as well, including several pages of tea, sodas, and then a basic wine list supplemented by a whole book of other wines that are available. Other than the tasting menu, what are the most famous dishes here?
Actually, the famous dishes, we also have a cod fish with a honey syrup.
That's the main
appetizer.
course. Oh,
Appetizer.
okay.
And the barbecue pork also famous. Barbecue pork dish.
Just char siu.
Hey, yes, right. Char siu is good.
They saw all the Peking duck.
Yeah, right. And also like a Peking duck style, the Tang Court crispy chicken. The similar of the Peking duck. The first course is skin and a little bit meat wrapped in pancake. And second course is the chicken meat. Also like san choy bao. Yeah, can do. Yeah, that's quite famous. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Any food allergy?
No.
You can take a look menu first. Thank you.
Get one of the
Tasting
tasting
menu.
menu. And then the cod fish with honey you suggested. Also, so the tasting menu will come with one of the crab, right?
Yes, the breakfast the crabs are also famous.
So
Yeah.
can we
We'll
get
get one more
more
extra.
You want order one more extra?
of the crab?
Ah.
And then the braised oyster with roast pork.
Oh. Are you hungry or not too hungry?
Not too
Not
hungry. Is that
hungry.
a lot or?
Maybe the cod fish can make it 4 pieces because a regular portion is 6 pieces. I think it's a little bit much for your starter. Yeah.
You just want 2
4
pieces?
Each person 2 pieces. Yeah. 4 pieces is fine.
Okay. Oh, look at my bulging shirt there. Spoiler alert, but I would say that wine that they're pouring was my favorite thing of the evening. Now, the mixed starters were all great. Everything was freshly prepared, certainly first-class ingredients. Not anything that jumped out at me as being, what I would expect at a traditional Chinese Cantonese restaurant. It was more European, basically, in terms of flavors and ingredients. Ingredients certainly leaning more towards Japanese than Chinese. The cod fish, I can see why this is popular. It's crispy, it's got honey on it and whatnot, but I have to be honest, I just didn't enjoy it. Cod is such a fatty fish already. If you just put a flame to it, it will get crispy and the oil runs out. Dropping it into the deep fryer, in my opinion, it just becomes a big ball of butter, and I could mainly taste the oil and honey rather than the fish. So this is a little crab football. And apparently it goes with Worcestershire sauce. So I have to say this was actually quite outstanding. Cutting through the shell, it was perfectly cooked, so full of crab meat, delicious, tender, just as you'd want it to be, except about half as big as you would want it to be. Now, as you can see here, I was very tentative about adding Worcestershire sauce. It seems way too strong and overpowering for crab, but I'm wrong. It was a perfect match. Very interesting idea, Worcestershire and crab. Actually, it's a little hard to taste. I never thought of Worcestershire that way, but with crab, it's kind of like a vinegar, but with umami. So what was it? Bird's nest, abalone, fish maw, chicken. Oh. So right now we're in the middle of TST, an area that when there isn't lockdown, you have rows of cars from mainland China of wealthy people coming in to line up at all of the boutiques and go shopping. And there's a real nouveau riche feeling in Hong Kong about newly rich Chinese people who have no taste and are loud and brash and whatever. This is old money Chinese food. This is where Li Ka-sing or Stanley come to eat. I think I would rather eat with the new rich, loud people. It's like so mild and it's so refined and it's so delicate. It feels like it's just getting you ready to go to bed. Homemade wall. Looks good.
Do you like it?
I do. Oh, so small. Oh.
This is good.
Yes. Aww, also Su. You'll note my voiceover in the restaurant was so quiet the GoPro could barely pick it up. The whole place just had an uncomfortably formal and stuffy atmosphere for me, not at all what I'm looking for, even if it's fine dining when I go to a Cantonese restaurant. So no damage summary here. Suffice to say, it was expensive, as you would expect for a 3 Michelin star restaurant. I don't want to say that the food was bad, it just wasn't what I was expecting, and I wasn't really thrilled by it. And at that kind of price point, I want to be thrilled by it. I really think there's room in the market for a food guidebook that looks at what is the local standard, the local flavor, how things normal people on the street like the food, but then done with the best ingredients and the best execution and the best service, and then that deserves 3 stars, rather than the Michelin guide where everything has to become Frenchified and bow-tied before it can be recognized as an amazing meal. For me, this was soulless, but kind of technically perfect, like an American Beauty rose that looks great but has no scent.